Welcome to Magnetism Part 2. As we were saying in just a second, or in the most recent video on magnetism, the first one in magnetism, the way that magnet works, this gives you several opportunities to be able to create an experiment, a true experiment that you could do with students by you changing the material that the nail is made of, or the whatever the rod that you might use to coil coil the electrical wire around. You could change the material that it's made of, the length. You could change the number of coils that you use, or you could change the strength of the battery. So each of those things could be changed as an independent variable, and then measure how many, say, paper clips or whatever it is that you might be measuring to see how strong the battery is. So you could compare your independent variable to the dependent variable. So this gives you a lot of different options that you could create an experiment and have students design their own experiment in order to gather some data about an electromagnet. Not only will moving electrons create a magnetic field, but moving magnetic fields creates an electrical current. So if, for instance, if we were to take a loop of wire connected to an ammeter, we could move a magnet up and down through this coil of wire and actually create an electrical current. This is called electromagnetic induction. So this would create another situation where you could have students create their own experiment. Change the number of coils in the wire, change the speed at which the magnet is moved through the coil of wire, and see how that changes the amount of electrical current you're actually able to produce. So moving electricity will create magnetism. Moving magnetism creates electricity. Remember the electromagnetic wave that I showed to you in the light lecture, where you have one wave that's moving in a direction and then the other wave is moving completely perpendicular to it and they intersect every time they cross? That's an electromagnetic wave. Moving electricity creates magnetism. Moving magnetism creates electricity. So as they move, it's a self-propagating wave, which is why an electromagnetic wave doesn't require a medium to go through, because it's self-propagating. Moving magnetism creates electricity. Moving electricity creates magnetism. Here are some websites for you to look at. And as always, the material that you would need to look at, particularly for the gaze. And all of that's available on the non-recorded slide deck. That's all for magnetism, and we will pick up next with electricity.